Welcome. Today, we're going to take this sometimes fuzzy idea of visualization and turn it into a practical, reliable tool. We'll be drawing from the work of Behrend to figure out how to build a really clear mental picture, basically a powerful blueprint for your goals. So, have you ever been told to just visualize your goals and you just get frustrated? You try to picture something, but it's blurry, it keeps changing, or it just feels like you're making it up. Well, that's a super common experience. But what if the problem isn't what you think it is? Here's the thing. The issue usually isn't a lack of imagination. We all imagine things constantly, all day long. The real challenge is not having a clear, structured plan, what we're going to call a mental blueprint. It's less about daydreaming and a lot more about creating a focused, architectural design for what you want. Okay, so if the key is the blueprint and not just imagination, what exactly makes a mental blueprint powerful? Before we get into how to build one, we really need to understand the essential parts that give a mental picture its strength and its structure. So let's get on the same page with this core idea. A mental blueprint isn't some passive daydream. Think of it as a disciplined, deliberate process. It's all about taking a super clear image inside your mind and methodically translating it into reality. Just like an architect's blueprint has to exist long before the first brick ever gets laid. And the very first principle of a strong blueprint is clarity. And where does that clarity come from? Simplicity. A really complex, fuzzy image is just hard for the mind to hold on to. But a simple, direct, and clear picture that gives your focus a stable mold to pour into, making it so much easier to come back to again and again. This whole idea really rests on three pillars that connect timeless wisdom with what we know today. First up, simple and clear. This idea is as old as the Stoics, who were all about focusing on the essential. And modern science backs this up. It actually reduces cognitive load, freeing up your brain power. The second pillar is calm repetition. Aristotle called it habituation. Today, neuroscientists can show us that this is literally how we build and strengthen new neural pathways. It's how a new idea starts to feel natural. And third, full integrity. This is all about making sure your inner vision lines up with your outer actions. It's that crucial consistency between what you intend and what you actually do. So now that we've got the principles down, let's get to the practical part. Here's a simple step-by-step process you can use to start building your own mental picture with real clarity and focus. But first, a really crucial mindset shift. If you find yourself straining or trying to force an image into your head, that's actually a red flag. It's a signal of internal resistance. Behrend taught that true creative power is calm and natural. Pushing too hard is actually counterproductive. The goal here is focused ease, not a forceful struggle. Okay, here is the four-step method. It all starts with finding stillness. You need a clear canvas to work on. Step 2, select one single clear image of the final outcome you want. Don't get bogged down in how it's going to happen, just focus on the end result. Third, and this is so important, feel the reality of it. Go beyond just seeing it. Bring in your senses and emotions so it feels like it's already true. And finally, step 4, act and speak in alignment. Your words and actions have to back up the vision you're holding. Let's just double down on that last step because, honestly, this is where the blueprint can fall apart. If you're holding a picture of success, but you're constantly talking about failure or doubt, you're creating a huge contradiction that just undermines the whole thing. Full integrity means your words and your actions are consistently reinforcing your mental image. They are the bridge from the invisible to the visible. Okay, theory is great, but how does this stuff actually apply to real life? Let's walk through 3 practical examples to see how you can put this blueprint to work in your career, your relationships, and even your personal habits. So for a work project, instead of visualizing the stressful, messy process, build a picture of the finished product. Hold on to that feeling of satisfaction, that feeling of a job well done. What you're doing is establishing the cause, the mental and emotional state of completion, and that, in turn, helps organize the actions needed to get you there. And for relationships, you can build a mental blueprint of the kind of dynamic you want. See and feel that harmonious communication, the mutual respect, the ease of just being with that person. This puts your own internal state in a place that naturally encourages that kind of connection, instead of one that's based on friction or anxiety. And for building a new habit, this is incredibly powerful. Instead of focusing on how hard it is to start, picture yourself as someone who already has this habit. It's just second nature to you. Feel the ease and the identity of a person who just is this way. This helps you kind of bypass all that initial resistance to change. All right, let's make this really tangible. I want you to take just a moment and do this short, practical exercise with me right now so you can experience this principle for yourself. Look around the room you're in right now and just pick a simple object, a chair, a lamp, your phone. Now, for just a second, think about where it came from. Before it was a physical thing, it was just an idea, right? A mental picture in someone's mind. That chair started as a desire for comfort, which then became a picture of a seat. The lamp started as a desire for light. This is a brilliant way to see that you are literally surrounded by thoughts that have been made real. The whole point of this little workshop is to ground this entire concept in your immediate, observable reality. See, visualization isn't some abstract theory. It is the fundamental process of creation that produced everything man-made in the room you're in right now. You can practice with what's right in front of you, anytime. All right, we have covered a lot of ground, so let's quickly recap the most important takeaways from this explainer, and then we'll see where we're headed next. So here are the crucial points to remember. First, if you're struggling, focus on your blueprint, not on trying to be more imaginative. Second, a strong blueprint has those 3 pillars. It's simple, it's repeated calmly, and it's held with total integrity. Third, this is a skill of focused, easy attention, not a struggle. And finally, the proof is all around you. Every object you see began as a thought. The blueprint always comes before the building. So now that you have the tools to actually build the blueprint, the next challenge is protecting it. In our next explainer, we're going to cover exactly how to guard your mental picture from doubt and from outside influence, because a blueprint is only powerful if it stays clear.